All right, here we go.
Do it. Let's do it.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Grid Penalty, the Formula One podcast for everybody. My name is Brink Gill. With me, as always, is Jeff Tyson. Boy, do we have a hell of an episode for you today. We're talking a little bit about the Autosport Awards, the 2023 sprints announced, Lewis Hamilton's contract, Danny Ricciardo, and Charles and Charlotte, plus the Mousie Award. But first, as always, let us tell you where you can find us telling jokes. Jeff, what do you got? Let's get plugged.
Brent, we had technical difficulties.
We did.
I felt
Yes,
bad
we did.
because your first initial intro was perfect.
It was very good. And I deleted it too. I was like, I'm out. I don't even
It was a
want
bummer because it was so good. And then you one-upped it. You did better. This one was better than the last one. This one was perfect.
Yes.
It's incredible.
You're very sweet. Thank you, Jeff.
You're a professional. But yeah, it was you can catch me all over the place. You can catch me at Jeffrey Tice on all social media on the internet, GeoffRuitice. You can also catch me live and in person at the Rise Comedy Theater Friday, December 16th, and then Saturday, December 17th in Boulder at the Hotel Boulderado. And then let's say you're at the World Cup and you're just watching some great soccer. You just watched France beat England, maybe, or you might have watched the incredible team that is Morocco this year in the World Cup. What you're going to want to do is you're going to get the hell out of Qatar as quick as possible. You're going to fly.
Especially if you're a woman. Get out.
Yeah. Anybody other than just an old guy, just
an old
get on a
straight
plane.
man, then you're fine.
You're probably having fun. But if not, get out of there. And you're like, well, I need to lighten the mood a little bit and get on an airplane, and you're going to fly all the way across the country direct. I don't know if there's a flight direct from Qatar, from Doha.
Emirates
probably,
Air, of course.
Probably not, but maybe there is. Yeah, maybe there is, straight from Doha directly into Rocky Mountain National Municipal Airport in Broomfield, Colorado. You're going to skip DIA because we're going right to Highway 36, the Rocky Mountain National Airport, municipal airport. And then you're going to hop on the back of a Snarf's delivery driver who's going up towards Boulder, and you're going to take that all the way 36.
Fiat, you'll see it.
Yeah, you'll see it. You'll see it just outside the hangars. It's always just chilling there. And then that's going to be on a Sunday afternoon, and that'll take you all the way to 28th and Valmont. And then again, the Fiat will probably want to go and swerve towards Vacuums R Us. That is not where you want to be.
No.
Where you want to be is you want to go to the Rayback Collective at 7 p.m. every single Sunday for the Boulder Comedy Show, the greatest show on earth. Come and see us there. Other than that, that's all I got going on. Brent, I'm excited for today's episode. I'm feeling good. Where can the good people find you? What you got going on?
I love how each week we pump the trip to get in there as if it's like legitimately confusing that it's behind the Vacuums R Us. Because it's very well labeled. You will find it, but I hope our fans in Qatar or Silverstone or wherever you are listening from, I hope they're like, wow, this place is probably small. It's fucking huge. It is gigantic.
It's so big. It's funny to mention Vacuums R Us because it's in front of it and you don't notice it. That's how Rayback is massive. It is a huge venue. So
man. Please go check out Jeff if you are in our area. I got some shows coming up. I will be in Colorado. First off, biggest thing, if you didn't catch it last week, my comedy special released on December 1st, and I'm so excited about it. It's called Live from Philadelphia. Recorded it at the Helium in Philly, and you can catch that on my Instagram at I am Brent Gill. It's the first link in my bio.
Huge.
Yeah, I'm very pleased with it. I think I might have cracked 10K. I think
Let's go.
Got it really close, and I'm very happy with it. So please check that out. You can watch my full special there. If not, you can catch me live. I think I'll be closing out Faded Denver, my own show on Friday, December 16th at the Skylark Lounge at 140 South Broadway. And then you can catch me for the annual Comedy Works Holiday Roast at the Comedy Works downtown in Denver on December 22nd and 23rd. And a little out of place here, I guess. Sunday, December 18th, a couple days before, I will be live at the Boulder Comedy Show in Boulder, Colorado. So
That's great.
if you're in Qatar, do that whole thing that Jeff just said. Get a direct flight to the Rocky Mountain National Municipal, or, whatever it's fucking called, that place. Also, be sure to follow our amazing producer, Kat Orlean, at KO Recording. If you want to see what she does, she put up recently. Did you see that video of her building that record player?
Yeah, that was incredible.
Insane. It's insane. So support her.
What's going on?
She does amazing work. I don't know what's going on. It's like I feel like if you're not a car person and you're here at the podcast for like the drama and the comedy, then it's gonna be like watching a car get built, because you're like, I don't know what's going on, but it looks hard. It looks fucking cool.
Looks detailed.
Yeah. So, but it's been fun, man. I've had quite a hectic week, a hectic like 48 hours.
Oh, really?
Yeah, man. I was so this past week, my friend calls me up and goes, "Hey, dude, do you want to come play Angela's National Golf Course? It's the only Greg Norman course in LA."
Whoa,
so
that's cool.
Expensive.
And shout out to the shark.
The shark, yes, dude. Okay, stop. He's like, "I'll pay for it. It's we're going with my father-in-law." I was like, "Dope. I'll change my flight. Going out a day early." This girl I was going to go on a date with did not respond to my date request. And I was like, you know what? I'm just going to leave early. And then if you were, I left, you didn't fucking respond. So the day I'm supposed to fly out, I get a call that my partner at Whole Hecklers has COVID. I'm like, test yourself again. I have a non-refundable tea time in less than 24 hours. Fucking test yourself again. And he did, and he had to do it. And I called the main dude, and I was like, "Hey man, here's the deal." And he kind of get this sob story of like, "Well, I really wanted you to be there, and I guess we can get another person, but if we had to pay extra money and cover it," I was like, "Fucking hey, fine."
Sure.
So I had to buy a flight at noon to take at 8. I had to meet with my new intern for Boulder as well. I had a doctor appointment where they had to draw a pint of my blood. And so I fly to Arizona at night. I'm on the golf course at 6 a.m. I see a sunrise on the golf course in Arizona. I see the sunset at the airport in Arizona, flying back to LA. And I flew back last night. And then I went to Jamel Johnson's show, Airbuds Live, which is a NBA podcast. And about halfway through the show, my friend shows up with dabs, and she's like, "Hey, I got dabs in the car. Want to sneak out?" I was like, "Sure do." I ripped about 3 dabs, sat back in the black box studio, or the black box theater, and proceeded to nod off every 4 minutes. I could not keep my eyes open to save my fucking life. I was like, I got to get out of here. I can't, but I don't want to get up. These are my friends. I feel like an asshole. But it was okay to get up and go do a dab in the middle of the show, but not to get up when I'm nodding off in the middle of the show like an asshole.
I love the idea of you, like that sounds so hectic. It's also like you telling me that I know that some people don't like that. To me, that's like that's pretty.
That's how it works sometimes.
That's how you are. Like that's how your life is most of the time. But also the nodding off. I love the idea of you going to an NBA podcast. I know that you're friends with them and they're hilarious comedians, Jamel Johnson and CJ. Like those dudes are truly the funniest dudes on the planet. But I just love them talking about like niche NBA stuff
that I have zero idea about.
Yeah, it makes me clue. It just goes to show how you're a supportive person. Because if someone was like, "Hey, do you want to come to my tennis podcast?" I'd be like, "Dude, no."
If it's cricket, maybe.
Yeah,
but
maybe. Yeah,
no.
Tennis, no, dude. But yeah, it's.
But yeah, dude, it was so dumb. And like while I'm down there too, I had a few hours before I had to go to the airport after the event. And I got to tell you, dude, I have a problem. I have a car problem. Like I have an obsession. I I'm like scratching myself as I'm
Did you
talking
buy
about
it?
this.
You didn't buy the Mercedes though,
I
right? You
didn't buy the
haven't actually.
Mercedes, but I did. I was looking up cars in Phoenix just because that's another good car place to buy cars. And I'm like
Yep.
looking up, like maybe I could just buy one and just drive it back to LA. Uh,
Hilarious.
dude, I got to get my race car back, dude. It's I think when I don't have it, I am jonesing for a fix.
That's so funny. Yeah,
I think
yeah.
is
You
what it
said
is.
where, and so it's just out of commission, right? It
It's out
doesn't.
of commission. I got to get a new headers. I got to get a new my transmission rebuilt, new clutch, new flywheel, and it won't start. So there's also that
Oh,
too. I mean,
oh,
it starts if you jump it,
great.
but you have to jump it every single time,
Yeah, that's not fun.
regardless of the status of the battery.
Yeah. All right.
So
Well,
there's
yeah,
that.
just what you should do is just buy a new car then. I'm just the worst influence ever. Just buy a new car, dude. Just
Get out of my
into it.
head. Get out of my
Yeah.
headphones.
Have you looked at the Mercedes? Have you looked at the new?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I also too, speaking of like how I want to spend this money I don't have,
Yeah.
I did it at midnight, just pull the trigger on way too much money of golf in February.
Oh,
I'm going on a golf I'm going on a
yes.
golf trip in Palm Springs, dude.
That's great. I don't know.
Ah.
You don't travel internationally very much. It's not like you're going to Italy or these Europe. You don't go to Hawaii. What you do is you spend money on golf. I'm here
And
again
cars.
being a bad influence, just enabling you.
You are making me feel good about this because I do feel good about it.
But yeah, you should feel good about it. And it's also the most exciting thing is to have something to look forward to. The
That's
best part
true.
about these types of things is like you're going to buy new like little golf
Shoes,
gadgets. You're going to get a new,
true.
you're going to get all the gear for it. It's the
New
best.
rangefinder.
It's the best feeling. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you'll probably buy a golf cart instead of a new car, and then that'll make you want to get it.
And then I try to turbocharge it somehow.
Yeah.
What the fuck, dude?
You're like, did I LS swapped a golf cart? You're like, all right, this is actually a terrorist attack. It's dangerous.
Yeah. Where'd you put the motor? Oh, it's still under me. It's not safe. So, have you ever been to Palm Springs before? Because I've been down there a bunch for golf, and it's wild down there.
Palm Springs. I love Palm Springs. I love Indio, that whole area. I've never been to Coachella. I've just been there for. So I used to have, speaking of golf, I used to have a friend who is an incredible golfer, lives in Scottsdale, golfs down there, kid I grew up with. And when we lived in California, my wife and I, we were only an hour and a half from Palm Springs. We would always drive out and just have weekends out there.
Because you're in Riverside?
We were in Claremont and
okay.
Rancho Cucamonga, like a little bit closer, but still, basically that area. And my buddy was like, hey, he played on this like Golf Channel tour. Like it was a championship series, quote unquote, whatever, it's
that's
not
cool.
like, it was like sponsored by the Golf Channel, but it was a competitive tour that they would go on. And,
it's very good, really?
Yeah, he's real good. He was trying to go pro. He tried to go to Q school and do all that stuff. But the fun part was I was his officiant in his wedding. Like, this is one of my best friends. He was like, I'm going to be in California. I would love to just hang out. The only thing is I'm flying in for the tournament, staying at this casino, doing the tournament one day, flying out. He's like, do you want to come out and stay with me? He's like, you can be my caddy for the day.
What?
Yeah. The day that I was there they were playing PGA West, which if you look up PGA West,
played there.
Course,
Yeah.
That course is so sick. It's so professional. I've never caddied in my life.
Like the P-Tie course, dude. That course molested me.
Yeah,
bro.
Dude, me
my
too.
God. Yeah,
and I didn't play it.
I can't believe you had to walk that, dude.
So on top of having to walk that, I didn't realize this. I told him, I was like, of course, that sounds awesome. Like, it'll be really fun. And he goes, I get there and we're hanging out. We're like, everyone's warming up. I'm like, I don't know what to do as a caddy. I'm not like doing paces. I don't know where the hole placements are for that day. I have no idea about this course at all. And I did zero homework. My friend was like, just come and hang out. Then I realized when I got there that this tour, the rules were basically, if you don't have a caddy, you get to use a cart with GPS. And so so having a caddy was a massive disadvantage.
Oh
On
no.
top of that, you have a caddy that doesn't know what he's doing. And so I essentially showed up
Do
to a
you play
tournament.
golf?
Do
Or
I play
like
golf?
dabble? Yeah, do you at least
Yeah,
dabble?
yeah, yeah.
Okay, all right.
I'm okay at golf.
Okay.
I'm enough to be like, dude, we're 130. I don't know his game enough to be like, this is a
Yeah.
7-iron. You need to draw this. Like,
I don't know if this was me. I would just hope I hit it straight.
literally, yeah, yeah. I was like, I don't know, man. Have you tried not using blades? I don't know. I don't know what we're doing here. Yeah, exactly. So like again, like he's better at everything about this. There's no reason for me to be there. I'm actively hurting him on the golf course, and so
And yourself as you're trying to walk that fucking desert mountain
in
course.
desert, yeah, and so I felt terrible because I was like, wait, you have to use like rangefinder now, and you can't. We don't have a cart. I was like, dude, why'd you do this? Like, I don't need to be here.
Well, hang out after. It's fine.
Exactly. I'll just walk and just watch you, but you take a cart. But anyway, he didn't care at all. Like he was like, oh, I knew this. He's like, I know the rules. He's like, I don't care. He's like, it doesn't matter.
Wow,
And
that's a fun that's a confidence around a golf game that I do not have.
Yeah. I mean, he's sick. Like he's one of those. You're like, he normally will walk if he's in competition, but this time they got carts and GPS. So anyway,
wow.
Yeah, that's my my real fun experience.
How did he do? Did he play well?
He played well. Yeah, I don't know. Dude, don't even know what he shot. What a great caddy I am. Have no idea what he shot. No clue.
Did you at least get your 10%?
Yeah. Can I get a cut of the? Yeah, I don't know, dude. I had fun. We just drank and it was a good time. That's all.
There will be a lot of drinking here as well. I mean, a lot of these courses, I mean, they're fun course. I'm playing at Rams Hill Golf Club, and there's only 48 people allowed in there. I've been told that this is like a phenomenal golf course.
That's awesome.
Is what I've been told. And then I'm playing in the 3-day one. So that's on Thursday. Then we do a Friday, Saturday, Sunday at Desert Willow, Shadow Ridge, and Silver Rock. And Desert Willow rules.
That's awesome.
That's such a fun course. You know what's crazy about Palm Springs is like it is the desert, but there it is an oasis. Like there are underground springs, and like Desert Willow is there's creeks like in ponds that are all natural, and it's so green, and then driving into it, it's so brown.
That's so cool.
It's wild.
Oh, that's awesome. That's gonna be sweet.
So,
nice, dude.
That'll be fun. That'll be fun. But speaking of fun, let's talk about, again, we're at the end of the year, and at the end of every year, we have the Autosport Awards, which it seems like a lot of people were having a lot of fun. Seb got a Lifetime Achievement Award, as he will. He denies that he's going to come back like Lewis says he will, but I think he will.
We don't believe it.
Who knows? Who knows? But I think the funniest part that we found, you sent me this clip about the FIA president, MBS Mohammed bin Sulayem.
Yeah.
Sulayem.
You nailed it. You nailed it.
Shithoused.
Dude,
Muhammad got hammered is what happened. And this is his first year as the president.
Yeah.
And he was really,
dude. If you haven't seen the video, go watch the video. But he definitely had a few drinks. He's on stage with Horner, and it's supposed to be this celebratory night for the champions that are Red Bull, and he shows up and he gives him the award, and Horner is very like professional and just goes, thanks, appreciate it,
right?
MBS, and then he goes on this rambling kind of rant about. He starts off with a weird tone. He's like, you deserve this championship, and you deserve Max. Like there was any question, everyone was like, what?
It's almost like he's like, I don't want to sound racist, but
that's kind of about
like that's how he started.
It was very much like, I know no one believes you, but you do deserve this. It was like, all right, very much like, huh?
We all know you cheated.
Yeah, and then it turns even weirder, and then he starts bringing up Japan and the situation with the rain.
Yep.
And he talks about. Oh, he also talks about that he was a a junior Red Bull or sponsored Red Bull
Yep.
driver early in
Yeah.
his career, or the last race he did. And like you can just see everyone in the room, and then especially Dominicali, who's on stage. He just looks like his soul is leaving his body. He's just like, I need to get out of this so bad. What it looked like to me was like your drunk friend getting pulled over by the cops, and they're like, I can talk myself out of this. Here we go.
Yeah, no, it's fine. It's fine. Look,
It's
so
fine. It's fine.
you deserved all the points. I mean this with
I
the most sincerity. When he said that last part with the most sincerity.
sincerity. Yeah.
What the fuck, dude?
I also like Red Bull. Like it was so weird. And you could just see like Horner just like smiling and nodding, smiling and nodding.
Yeah.
So as a fun moment, as a good
The part at the end when they all stood up there and took their picture together, with Christian, Max, Muhammad,
Checo.
they're all up there. Well, no, the one,
just
I think
after
it was
that.
just that one.
Yep.
And like they go to hold it up, and Muhammad goes to like hold it with him, and Christian just moves it out of the way, and then Muhammad grabs his elbow and like pushes his elbow up further. It was so
weird.
awkward, dude. It
so weird.
weird.
So weird. I love it. I love that
God.
shit. Yeah.
But like what I mean, like, look, I get he was I get he was they're having a good time, but it felt like granted, they're all buzzed, if not shithouse.
Yeah.
It felt like it was like just it felt like the type of disagreement you would see in like the show Succession. You know what I mean? Just a bunch of rich people that are just like, well, I'm going to jab you in front of everybody because what are you going to do? Hit me? And then it's like him being a cunt back. Like, it's just.
It's all weird power plays. Like, it has nothing to do. It's just all about like, I said the thing I needed to say.
Right?
Got
Yeah.
It. Yeah.
It somewhat makes me wonder if, like, I mean, this sport has become so fun, right? We talked last week. Ooh, excuse me. I just totally burped in the microphone. That was my
I didn't hear it.
Everybody.
Leave it in. Leave it in. Leave it in.
We talk about Brown retiring and how much work he did, last year, or like throughout his whole career. And it makes me kind of wonder if it's an intention to keep sparking up controversy, or if this is just truly just rich cunty dudes just being cunty.
I think it's that. I think it's just it's just rich guys being a-holes, and then they're also hammered. They're just like it's one of those things where I wonder if they're like, we're just gonna stop broadcasting this ceremony. Like, we gotta stop giving them alcohol and then letting them talk on camera. Like, we can let them talk on camera after races, but we can't have these guys drunk. Yeah.
My favorite part is like, look, we can't drink the entire fucking year. Let me get blasted.
Yeah.
No one's driving home. Man, I wonder what the auto transport bill for that fucking for the end of that night was.
Yeah. Well, it's also a sport that like after every single event, it's celebrated with alcohol, with champagne on the podium. Like they party all night. If you win, it's every week is someone's partying super hard. And so it's just a part of the culture of that sport to just go way too hard, probably.
Yeah.
It's the off season. They're all having to sell. I don't know what city I was in Bologna. Yeah. So it's just one of those like, yeah, of course, they're just going to go out and get just destroyed. Don't turn the cameras on. Don't just let them do this in their own little convention center, their nice little ballroom.
Do it like the old Friars Club roast.
Yeah.
Where it's like, nope, close doors. If you're here, you're here. If you're not, nah, sorry.
Do it at the Monaco VFW or the old Monte Carlo Elks Lodge. That's where they should be doing these things.
the VFGPW, the Veterans of Foreign Grand Prix Wars.
Yeah.
I wonder how many people were just I just imagine Yuki Tsunoda running around with like a red wine stain around his lips. Just shit house on red wine.
Just so good. Yeah. That's
I would have liked to go there. Maybe next year we'll get
Yeah.
to go there.
We'll go.
I
We'll get
also
our invitation.
thought it was funny too that Horner laughed so hard. So they got each year, each point you win, you score, you have to pay the FIA. And I think that's where all the prize money comes in. It's like a big gambling ring. It's pretty hilarious.
So weird.
He laughed at how much he's $6 million they owe.
Damn.
$6 million for winning. I love it.
I mean, that's great. It's so F1 of like just so many millions of dollars getting thrown around in all different directions for whatever reason. Like it's like we talked about Ferrari, where it's like, oh, we've just been here, so give us a bunch of money. It's like, all right, we'll just give you millions of dollars.
You know
for
what?
That.
That's a good point. That's a great point.
you made a good point.
$32
million. Yeah, that's great.
So also some things to look forward to for next year. I'm excited about this. We have 2 more sprint races this year.
Let's get into it. I'm so pumped
6
about
of
that.
them.
Only because the sprints were awesome this year.
They're so fun.
It was for me, it was such a buildup of like, I feel like, I'm more of a purist fan. I don't know if I love this, and I was really buying into it. And then like the first 2 sprints were just mayhem. I was like, dude, every week, give me a sprint every week.
Every week, yes.
Let's go.
It's so fun. It's so fun.
Great.
Plus, I mean, like the point mix up could be really interesting with those. You know what I mean?
They're so high risk. So what do we got? We have the new
first one is Azerbaijan.
So we got Baku and Azerbaijan. We have Austria at the Red Bull Ring. Baku will be new, which is awesome because that's one of the fastest. And so tracks, it's just a really fun track. It's a beautiful track. That'll be cool. Great. I'm excited to see that. Red Bull Ring, which is a returning one.
Yep,
Spa,
Belgium.
will be, to me, I think Spa will be the most boring. It's such a huge. I think so. In my head, it's boring just because the circuit is so big. Okay. I don't know how that really affects in my mind. It just doesn't seem like a sprint race in Spa will be that exciting. I could be wrong. It could be based on nothing. I don't know why.
Wait, is that a new one?
Yeah, I think Spa has not been.
It was not a sprint. It was not a sprint last year.
I don't think so. And then Qatar and Coda, which are great.
Coda's going to be new, which is going to be so fun.
So excited for that.
It's going to be so fun.
Yeah.
We're going to Coda this year. We're going to Miami. Somehow we're going to figure out Vegas. I don't know.
Vegas. We will hover in a helicopter.
If I buy that van, then I'm for sure going to Vegas. I'm just going to live like a homeless person in Vegas for 4 days.
That's great. That's perfect. It's worth it. And so, Coda
that's better than
awesome.
a Mercedes.
A van that's livable, or what if you got a Mercedes Sprinter van to live in? Now we're bringing everything together. I'm such a bad influence on you. I'm just like, buy it, dude. Buy it.
Dude, Cliff Cash told me how much it would cost to convert it, and I was like, well, that's way less than what the internet said. And this is a problem now. Am I about to pull money out of savings so I can buy an investment?
as soon as you know it's a good deal, you're like, no, I got to do it. I'd be losing money not to do this.
Dude.
That's awesome.
Oh man.
And then the final one is Interlagos, so in Brazil, which was we saw this year, was incredible, super fun. It's a great weekend overall. Man, 6 is crazy. Also, since we talked about China being canceled last week, I don't think they're going to add a additional race. They mentioned it, but I think it's now just going to stay 23.
I like that.
I think so too. I think, of course, just keep
it 23. That's a shitload of races. It used to be like 15.
Especially with sprint races now, 6 sprint races. You're adding 2 extra days of racing on the additional days. I don't know.
Yeah,
it's fine. I think they don't need to keep pushing it. Yeah, because there was talk of Portimao in Portugal and then Turkey in Istanbul, which is a great race.
That could have been cool.
Yeah, that's always a good one too.
Cool.
But I think they're just going to leave it for now. This is what I've heard.
Turkey would be fun.
Turkey's dope. I mean, Istanbul's so beautiful. That track is cool.
That would be so cool.
Yeah.
We should. Awesome. All right, let's write. Okay. After this podcast is done, let's write a letter to Muhammad.
Yep.
He's probably woken up by now. And we'll be like, hey guys, let's sneak Turkey back in there.
Let's get there.
Let's drop Monaco and take. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Everybody, chill out.
The rockets have been launched. Yeah. Also, a side note, talking about Turkey, because Turkey is obviously, every place we go, especially in the Middle East, there's always controversial places that people love to bring up.
Yeah.
And it made me laugh because we've been in this world for years in F1, just watching, missiles land next to the track in Jeddah, and all these things happen year after year where you're like, okay, F1 doesn't actually give a shit about human rights. Everyone's just kind of like, we're still going to watch. Let's keep going. It's a great thing to talk about, but they don't care. F1 doesn't care.
Nope.
And then come this year with the World Cup in Qatar, and there's this massive controversy. People are talking about boycotting it, and it just made me laugh because every F1 fan is like pulling their collar, like, we've been going through this they race in Qatar like it's so. It just was way too familiar to have
broadcast
all of a sudden
Disney
the rest of the world, or just, more of the mainstream opinion be like, they shouldn't be doing this major sporting events in these countries with massive human rights violations. And then F1's over there like, yeah, you guys keep up that energy. See what happens.
Yeah, we'll see how long that goes, guys. You'll learn. It's like the grizzled vet in the back of the fucking bar that's like, they'll never learn.
Yeah, just smoking a cigarette, a Marlboro that says Mission Winnow on it instead of Marlboro.
An unfiltered Mission Winnow.
Yeah, they'll figure it out. Yeah, they'll learn how to get her.
Huge mustache, but it's a Mission Winnow mustache. It's it's a Mission Winnow man mustache.
Yeah. Yeah. It just made me laugh. I was like, yeah, F1 has been exploiting that for a long time. Yeah.
Oh man, it's gonna be fun though. I'm so excited to see the sprint here because I mean, even going to quali this year, it seems like qualies have all been really popping off, and I think I think that these, because it's only a 6 out of 23, so that's like almost a quarter of the races are a sprint. So I think that's a good move for sure.
That'd be fun.
And oh man, Americans go ape shit for it. It's 2 for 1. Yeah, we're excited about that.
2 for 1.
I'm excited to see this as well. I read this that Lewis Hamilton, his contract is done this year. At the end of this year,
one more to go.
So they're trying to.
What do you think he's gonna do? What do you think? What's your prediction now, prior to even any renegotiations, before we even get close? We can look back and be like, what do you feel right now?
My biggest question is how, with the cost cap, if driver salaries are part of the cost cap, how can they keep upping his price? Yeah. I think that Lewis would take a pay cut for the betterment of the team.
Yeah.
And I almost wonder if he would if he can get like a percentage of the winnings or something like that, or if he can maybe buy into the team, or he gets equity into the team for taking less money for his yearly salary, because there's no fucking team out there. He's not going to Red Bull.
Yeah.
He might go back to Ferrari, maybe, but I just don't see that happening. I just don't think he likes.
Or you mean McLaren?
Excuse me, McLaren. Yeah. Sorry, I was thinking, fucking Fernando.
Yeah.
But I just don't think anyone would want to go back to Ferrari ever.
No. I don't think his history with Ferrari. I don't think he
would ever go there. So there's no team that can support him and build a car for him. So it's either. To me, I think it's either you get out or you got to stay with Mercedes. And if Mercedes can't build you a car, which they clearly can because George Russell's doing decent with it.
Well, that's the other issue. I'm very interested to see. So it's a great point. If they build a car, awesome. Then he has a championship level car. But now he has a brand new competitor in George Russell that has the pedigree to compete and win. He beat Lewis this year in the Mercedes, but I want to see those guys fighting at the front for the whole season and see what that does with Lewis at the front with a new teammate. Because I don't know, it's a weird vibe this year. Lewis was kind of weirdly okay with being beat. It seemed like
he did have a defeatist attitude. I think he kind of knew early on this was not going to work out. And it's like, I don't know why I'm here this year. Why am I risking my life with this one?
Yeah. And so I wonder if it was a decompression from how intense last year or
2021 was, yeah.
2021 was with Max. And obviously Max came out on top, and then additionally he had a rocket ship, and their car was so far ahead of everyone else consistently over the course of the year.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It's I think it'll be predicated on what Mercedes builds and shows up with in Barcelona. Yeah, what their next year looks like, and if anything, if it looks anything like it did at the end of the year this year, it looks positive. Hopefully they show up with a fast car.
I wonder if a driver can take equity in a team. I don't know why they couldn't. I mean,
I think so.
I bet you Gene Haas could fucking hop in that car and drive if he wanted to. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I don't.
I don't know.
Wouldn't fit, but yeah.
Yeah, I don't know the legal side of that. My guess is why not? Like,
right?
We were talking about this before we recorded, and we're going to do an episode eventually about the money of F1 and the money side of things. To me, there is a flexibility there that's like, yeah, buy into the team if you really believe it. And I think it would only really happen with someone like Lewis, who is fully invested in the team at that stage in their career, where then on top of it, taking the cut to help the team, to help yourself, because he's too expensive. It seems like the only real situation where that would happen.
And in reality, I would think you would get way more money. I mean, because I don't think the bonuses, like the money that they get paid for winning, I don't think, how would that be involved in the cost cap there? And I think that would be like almost like a loophole around it to where it's like, okay, we're too top heavy in pay. Let's get you down and give you equity in, and then at the end of the year, here's a chunk of money that would have made up for it anyway, but it didn't. Yeah. See, this is Brent Gill living in the loopholes. This is how I live my tax life. My accountant and I go through these types of conversations. Okay, so
I love it.
If I buy a car under my business, but I sell it to my business from my person, what if my other business buys it from my other business and then I put it on?
We got to get you in the negotiation table, in the negotiation room for Lewis with Toto. And you're just over in the corner like, okay, here's what we're going to do. You're going to get you equity. And then after all the dealings have been made, what we really want to leave this room with is me leaving with a Mercedes. That's what we're doing. And they're just like, what is this guy doing?
AMG one. That's what I want. If I can't have that, that's fine. I'll take that SL 300 that I see Toto rolling around in from the 70s.
Yeah. You're like, you guys are welcome. And then just security comes in and annihilates you.
Yeah.
That's it.
I bet you, I mean, I think that Lewis will stay with Mercedes. I think that I think a big thing too is that I think he's going to try to build in an option to leave.
Yeah.
If he doesn't want to, because I think where he's going to start realizing, as we all know, and again, most drivers just don't last this long, but I think that as we know, he's going to, it's a young man's sport. It's a young man's, what's another word for quick twitch? Because that Bill Burr joke just is lying in my head of like, nope, can't say that.
Yeah. Just reaction
time. There it is. It's a young man's reaction time, and you get old. I mean, I know I don't feel like I drive as sharp as I used to. Probably because I'm getting high and texting at the same time while I'm
great.
It's fine.
But either way.
Yeah. Like I just wonder if he realizes that he just doesn't have it and he would rather end gracefully. I don't know. Like how does Tom Brady feel?
Exactly. Well, luckily, Lewis doesn't have to get divorced to go back to a 3-8 team or whatever the Buccaneers are.
Right. Well, he did get he didn't get divorced, but he did go from the queen of the land to the fucking 0-22 this past year.
That is true. Well, it also made me think we talked about this a few weeks ago, even a couple months ago, where Max keeps alluding to getting out of F1 at the end of his contract, and he brought it up again, and someone asked him about life after F1, and he kind of elaborated for the first time I had heard. He said Yeah, if I can get out of F1 around 31, he's like, that's great. I have a bunch of others. His quote was, I have a lot of other things I want to do with my life outside of
Quit
F1.
stealing Seb's fucking
I know.
speech, Max. God
well,
damn.
well, we know Max isn't exactly going to be like, yeah, I want to do a lot of altruistic, like
I want
charity
to help
work.
the nation. I want to
Yeah,
join up with
yeah,
the BLM movement and help
yeah,
them.
yeah. I don't think Max is leaning that way. But what he did say was he would love to post F1. He thinks most of his focus will be on endurance racing. He loves endurance style. He does a lot of like endurance. He just recently did a 24-hour race, Le Mans style, like on the sim. He does a ton of endurance sim stuff. So it'd be really cool to see him get out of F1 and then just annihilate people in endurance races.
Interesting.
Yeah. It's a weird mindset for me to see the way that he drives in F1 and that translate to his love for
Long
endurance
races.
series.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it just goes to show one, I mean, no one has ever questioned his mental toughness and his ability to lock in. So I'm guessing that's clearly a huge asset to endurance racing. But yeah, I didn't think that. Like, I don't see Max as this like endurance style driver, but if you watch his style is very, he can focus and lock in like that so well. Yeah. So I'm sure he'll do amazing at it, obviously. But yeah,
weird, huh?
I don't know.
I mean, it that type of racing. I mean, it makes me think quickly because I don't know if I could. I mean, I remember when I was young playing Gran Turismo. I was like, these long races, like fuck all of that.
Yeah. No
12
way,
hours?
dude.
You want me to be on this thing? Fuck yourself. No. But like going on long road trips, you put yourself into a mindset at the very beginning of it. Like, I'm going to be driving for 15 hours right now.
Yeah.
Great. I'm not stopping. I'm going to stop to pee and all that, but that's about it.
Yeah.
And fuel. And I think that is an interesting, because I'm sure that's a similar mindset to what you're putting it into when you're getting into a 24-hour race. Because I think you're racing it like 4 hours at a time or 6 hours at a time, something like that. I think it's probably 4 at a time. And it's 4 on, 4 off, 4 on, 4 off with another driver. But
so crazy.
Yeah, that's going through the night like that, going through, weather, stuff like that. That would be interesting. I would love to see him get out of Formula One.
Yeah.
I just stopped there. Just period.
That's it. That's
just
it.
like to see
next
him
year. Get him out of here next year.
Do you think he's going to try to get an 8-time record, or do you think that's not important to him?
I honestly
don't know how he would do it in the time.
Yeah, I don't think it's important to him. I think he will. Honestly, I think after he won one, he was fine with it. I think he was.
And 2021 was such an epic challenge for him, for just any driver of those two caliber. The cars were in their peak position, the drivers were in their peaks, and he beat. I mean, big air quotes around this.
Yeah. But heavy asterisks, but
he beat the best driver in the world at the time.
Yeah, he did that season. We've beat this shit to death, but he did deserve to win that year. He didn't win that race, but he did perform the whole year.
Yeah,
but it was one of those things where the end is the end. But yeah,
this is the end.
I think mentally he is a different. I think once he won, it was kind of like that weight has lifted, those expectations from childhood, from being the youngest driver on the grid at 17, where I think all of that pressure finally was the culmination of like, I did it. God damn it, everyone,
and boy, Dad, did he work for it.
Get out of here. Everyone shut up, and now I can just coast through. I mean, this year he pretty much just coast through this year. He'll just
and his demeanor was different, which we've already talked about as well. Totally. His demeanor was different. He didn't reveal his assholiness until the very end.
Until he really,
boy, did he.
Yeah, he let it fly. He's like, hey guys, just please don't forget, I am an asshole.
Yeah. So,
yeah, he couldn't let us not. So yeah, well, we'll see how he goes.
Yeah,
he sticks around.
It's gonna be it again. That's why this sport's so fucking fun to follow. Who knows? It could go anywhere.
People in and out.
And Danny Rick, we have talked about him a little bit. He's signed a confirmed number 3 for Red Bull, which is exciting. He had talked recently about how I guess he was offered a seat with Williams
Oh,
and Haas, and he turned him down.
yeah.
Or he didn't even let the
Uh,
the conversation come to him,
that's funny.
because he thought that would be more that would lead to a permanent exit from Formula One for him.
Yeah.
Do
You
you agree with
know,
that?
I think so. I would agree with that. I think he knows that you're not gonna go to Haas and then all of a
And
sudden
win, yeah.
like even if you perform well in a Haas, I don't think anyone's paying close enough attention to what they're up to then be like, oh yeah, you did well. You got 15th 3 times in a row. Let's put you in a Mercedes after Lewis leaves. I
Yeah.
think I would, and to me, you've got to just you're already used to the lifestyle that is a team, or just I guess the conditions that are a top team. You know what Red Bull's capable of, their facilities, obviously the
They're
catering is
catering.
world
Oh my
class.
God.
But I can imagine that Red Bull's facility and ecosystem of their team is just so much better than, because of the money and everything, than what Haas's environment is. On top of that, I would rather just travel with that team, be the third guy for a year, maybe go somewhere else,
Yeah.
and not have to deal with fighting in the back and just being frustrated. So I get it. It makes sense. I do think he still has it. I think being a reserve driver does give him more options going into 2024
Hmm.
than being like what Nico is doing.
Hmm.
Nico Hulkenberg is going to go into Haas. I don't see Nico doing well, but I don't think that's then going to launch him into a top tier team
You're right.
or a winning towards the front team. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
I see that.
All right. All right.
But yeah,
I mean, it must when you hear that as a Williams and Haas person, you're probably like, ouch.
damn, dude. Honestly,
You know,
that's
like
gotta hurt.
ouch.
They're like, we can get Danny Rick. He's open. He's like, I would rather sit in a simulator than,
Then fucking drive
drive for your
whatever this
team.
shit is.
Yeah. And I'm sure people at Williams and Haas both are like, that is harsh but fair. We
Yeah.
agree.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
also agree.
Fuck you,
Yeah.
but yeah, no,
But
I get
we
it.
get it. We
I
get
would
it.
rather
Yeah.
be there too. I mean, it is going to be fun though to see over these next couple seasons how this cost cap is really going to bring up these mid level
Yeah.
and these changes is going to bring up these mid level teams.
Yeah. I hope it
I don't think that
works.
they'll ever top out the main 4 or 5, but
Yeah.
at least the top 3, no, but because they can cook their books better, they have better
Yeah.
accountants.
Yeah.
You know,
They
they
got
know how to
better.
hide money differently.
It's the catering effect. They know how to, they
Yeah.
know where to put it. They know what
Yeah.
budget it's coming from.
No, we were doing this research on our other car. It just
Yeah.
happened to work over here.
Yeah,
You
just
know,
saying.
like what the fuck?
Yeah.
Like, what's to stop Mercedes from like, no, we were doing the research on the AMG one.
Yeah.
But this works over here too. So we just, hey,
You're like, interesting.
why don't y'all just have this? This fell out of my notebook on the way to the
Yeah.
toilet.
You're like,
You know?
I didn't know your AMG one needed a DOS system. Oh,
Yeah,
yeah, that's cool.
yeah, exactly.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
So I mean, hopefully, I do agree that this is a good move for him. You know, it. I think what struck me as weird about this is he is getting old.
Yeah.
Right, and he does have a shitload of money, and I would think maybe he would want to race just a couple more times. I mean, but he probably, I bet you he talks with people like Seb and Fernando and are like, what's this like to fall from grace? Or maybe not use those words, but
yeah,
to see yourself slip out of the best.
Yeah. Well, and for him too, people are always going to criticize he left Red Bull when if he stayed, he still could have fought Max. And then he had 2 big, I guess they're not really missteps. They just didn't work out the way they wanted with Renault and then McLaren. I think people forget the hype that was around him coming to McLaren, because that McLaren car was great when Carlos and Lando were there together before Carlos obviously went to Ferrari. So there was a lot of excitement and positivity around that McLaren team. It just, as soon as they got to testing and the start of the new regulations, everyone was like, oh no, this sucks.
Yeah.
And so, and I guess there was that one year, the first year of it just didn't work well. So I don't know. We'll see. I yeah, I think that would have been a death sentence for him, but now he has a little bit more hope. I don't know. Speaking of death sentences, though, R.I.P. R.I.P. We're gonna talk about the little gossip corner for 2 seconds, and then we'll do our
Welcome to
Mazzy.
our corner. TMZ,
Dun,
GPZ, grid penalty
dun, dun.
zone.
This is, I'm so sad because they were my favorite, but this
I'm not.
week announced our good friend, our friend of the podcast, Charles Leclerc, Olshar, and his long-time girlfriend announced that they are separating. They're breaking up. And I'm devastated. It doesn't feel good. I feel
I'm
like
sad too that she's available now. You know
well,
that they love comedians. Those Monegasques, those rich people love comedians that own 4 broken cars. I mean, I'm telling you,
you have a shot. DM, so Charlotte is I think Charlotte is, I know she's an influencer, but I know she's obviously in the global spotlight because she's dating or was dating Charles. Now she is pretty much a celebrity in her own right. I didn't know about her obviously before Charles. All that to say, that doesn't make her life easier. She's going to get absolutely annihilated in the DMs.
Yeah,
but
right.
To then, I just want one glimpse into what Charles's DMs look like.
God.
They just have to be like, I can't believe
oh my God,
the war zone that's going on in his phone, just because he is the hot guys and hot cars in hot DMs.
He's the hottest
now.
of all of them. Ferrari's driver.
He's the face of Armani. He's so handsome.
Yeah.
Good luck, dude. I mean, obviously he doesn't need. And then on top of all of that, you know it was true love, and he's going through it because there's a photo of him at the award ceremony this week, and he just looks like he doesn't want to be there. He couldn't care. Like he looks like he just went through a breakup. Like he's just like, God damn it. Like,
and all these smoke shows are there too. They're like, I was in love.
Throwing themselves.
Oh man, it's sad for me it's a bummer for me to make fun of him. But you're famous and rich and great looking, so fuck off.
He'll be all right.
He'll be just fucking fine. His message requests are he probably got a phone call from Instagram that was like, hey, how do you want us to handle this for you? Like,
You're like, because we're fighting back. Like Dua Lipa's online too. Like we've got we're struggling here,
dude. I also feel like he is going to be just fine. But I wonder if he pulled the trigger or if she pulled the trigger, because part of me wonders. And this is just from being in LA for as long as I have been. A lot of these relationships are image relationships.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like the Kardashian and fucking Pete Davidson type thing.
Yeah.
The Machine Gun person and the Megan Fox person. The Machine Gun and Fox. All of Taylor Swift's relationships.
Yeah.
They're all for show.
Well, and even if it's not, like, I totally agree. At that, I
just wonder if her agents were like, "Hey, it's time if you want to go. You're famous enough."
Yeah, true. We can launch the career. To me, it's more. I don't know. I have no idea. But my thought is,
coming from the guy that got married to his high school sweetheart.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this, Jeff. Let me see what your thoughts are.
I got hot relationship advice. My first thought was this is not true at all. My first thought was they announced that it was 23 races, and she's like, "I'm out. I'm not doing this again." or she's like 6 sprint races. Absolutely, she just hates the sprint race. Like, she's like, absolutely not.
I was fine with 24 races, but 6 sprints? Fuck
absolutely
yourself.
not. No way. Like I think that lifestyle has got to just be exhausting for everyone who is not the driver, like, or the team. Like, I mean, it's obviously
for them too.
Yeah, but like they are so inundated and committed to it that if you're a passenger in that lifestyle, dude, you got to just get worn out. Like, unless you love that too, you love I mean, they're gone all the time. They're traveling nonstop. It's every other night. They have something going on. they're like once a year you get maybe 3 weeks, but even then they're still traveling. Like
Right.
it's nonstop travel. And so I'm sure for certain people, they're just like, this is great for some aspects, but I'm going to die soon.
Yeah.
Like, this is too much.
Yeah. That's a good point. I didn't think of that.
Yeah. And maybe it's not specific to Charles and Charlotte, but these relationships, F1 relationships as a whole, it's got to be
travel
strenuous.
relationship. You got to think. I mean,
Yeah.
I think about comics all the time.
Absolutely. Always on, dude, you just having to go at a moment's notice for 24 hours to a different state to do a
Right.
job to come back. Like that's hard. You missed a date. You could have you might have missed out on your future wife, Brent.
I specifically got these prizes from Comedy Works holiday party to take a woman on a date, get her liquored up at a whiskey tasting at Shanahan's. And no.
Oh, did you?
I got the liquor
note.
tasting one. Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah. That one is a beer garden, restaurant and beer garden, Rhinehouse,
Nice.
whatever it is. And then,
Nice.
And then don't forget the 2 tickets to the aquarium so I can take
Nice.
her daughter or son to the thing. Because Lord knows that she'll probably have a daughter or son.
Definitely going to be a single mom. Yeah. Oh, that's so funny. You got it all planned out. I won a 50-inch television.
The funniest part of this, Jeff, was that after you left, I heard at least 4 different people be like, Jeff got another fucking TV.
Yeah, I know.
They were so mad at you. They were so pissed.
To be fair, it's rightfully so. That's okay. But to be fair, I bought the TV last year off of Kyle Pogue. He was another comedian, won the TV, and I was like, I'll buy that from you if you want to sell it to me. And he sold it to me on the way out. I Venmoed him, and then I left with his TV.
That rules. Why do you want so many TVs? Is this for the kids' room?
No, I panicked. I don't even need it. I don't need it at all.
Wow. That's like my ex, dude. Mo one time bought a TV because it was on Amazon and it was a good deal. She's like, I'll give it to my mom. Her mom's like, I don't want it. Yep. And it sat in the box until she moved two more times. And I'm like, I don't even know if this thing's going to work. We haven't even opened it yet. I don't.
I took it out of the box and put it in our living room, and then I was trying to help my wife with the baby, and I ran over to the kitchen, and I came back, and then I absolutely shattered my middle toe on the edge of it. And I was like, get this thing out of here. I was losing my mind. And so I put it back in the box, and then I'll probably just give it to my brother-in-law. One of my brother-in-laws will probably want one. So
that's so funny.
It's great.
Do it for Christmas. That's a good move.
Yeah.
I bought you this for Christmas or something. I don't know. That's a great move.
That's good.
Yeah.
All right, let's do our Mazzy.
All right, Mazzy Award. I think you could probably already guess it. The Mazzy Award goes to the first-year president of the FIA, MBS. Dude, woo! what an exchange you had. If you haven't seen the exchange, look it up. I'm gonna put it in. If you're not following us on YouTube, subscribe to us on YouTube. It's new, but if you want to see us doing what we're doing, this is how you can see us do what we're doing. I'm going to put the link in that YouTube video for this episode when it released on Monday. So
perfect.
Yeah. So check it out there. It is, what a fucking weirdo.
It was the best. It was I so love funny. Awkwardness like that, and especially from like high profile people where now they have to deal with each other the rest of the year. Oh, it's just the best.
In front of everybody.
Yeah.
In front of everybody. And this is probably like, now I'm like, well, this is why he was like, we're not going to have the direct communications from the race director to the teams anymore because we want him to make their decision in peace. Or no, with no pressure. Like, no, that's just because y'all are going to be bitching at each other on the microphone and you don't want us to be
freaking out. Yeah. Oh, so good. Loved it.
Well deserved. Congratulations. You have won the honorary Nikita Mazepin Mazzy. Mohammed bin Sulayem.
Sulayem.
Fuck.
Sulayem.
I got to get better culture in me.
MBS.
Well, that's our episode, everyone. Thanks for listening to us. Hope you guys enjoying it. Like I said, we have a YouTube channel now, Grid Penalty F1. You can
Follow
find us
us.
on Instagram as well. We have a link there. I don't know what we're doing with it yet, so I'm sorry. We're posting videos onto the YouTube for sure.
Yep.
The Instagram is there, so we can grow it when we get I don't know, more resources.
More time in our
intern.
day.
If we get an
Yeah.
intern, oh, that's an idea. Jeff,
Here we go.
Let's
Yeah,
pitch in it. We need an intern. If you love what we're doing,
The
it doesn't
spirals.
matter where you live. We could have a digital intern. Maybe like someone that could edit a little bit as well, but someone to post and help us build what we're doing here, because we love you guys and all we want to do is bring you more content. And then Jeff is going to buy. Jeff already told me this for Christmas. He's buying me a race sim.
Oh, I thought you were going to say an intern. I'll buy you an intern. No, I'll get you a race sim for sure. We can
give me a race sim.
Yeah, absolutely. You got to get the race sim.
I got to figure out how to make my Mac run on Windows, because otherwise I can't get the program I want. It's
weird.
like Corsica or
well, it's like you're buying a PC and a race sim, a whole new PC.
Yes. So anyway, we love you guys. Thanks so much for listening, for tuning in. If you haven't already, please give us a nice review and share us with your friends. That really helps the algorithm there to pop it up into more people's spots there. Also, not a lot of Formula One content in the off season, so you're welcome. Shout out to our producer at Shout out to our producer, Kat Orlean at KO Recording. Follow our host, Jeff Tice at Jeffrey Tice, GeoffreyTice, me at I am Brent Gill. And watch my special. It's on my Instagram, first link in the bio. Please check it out. Share it with your friends. We love you. We'll see you next Monday. Goodbye.